Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fast Guard News. I'm Dwight Gibson.
I'm Roderick Payne.
And today we want to talk to you about good guard, bad guard. Don't know if anyone's seen this video of the Taco Bell security guard putting his hands on a woman. Take a look, then we'll get into it.
Yeah, you got to see this.
So, looking at that video, obviously there was something that occurred
Before.
to cause him to react in that manner, but that's still no excuse for him to do what he did. One, you shouldn't put your hands on a woman, period. And two, as a security guard hired to protect people and property, you shouldn't put your hands on a patron.
No, I mean, security guards are supposed to de-escalate. Mm-hmm. That is the exact opposite. He poured a whole gallon jug of gasoline on that fire, regardless of what she did. Maybe she spit on him.
Man, he went full Ike Turner.
Yeah, he went Ike Turner on it, and it's like when you see stuff like that, you have to, first thing I think about is liability, right? Mm-hmm. Then I think about, would she have been wrong if she'd pulled out a firearm and shot him dead right there on the site? Or if that's my sister, my mom, my daughter, he's a dead man. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. There ain't no jail that's going to keep that guy from me. So you have to think about that stuff. It's like if you're doing something. So in law enforcement, I've been in situations, a girl tried to slap me at a New Year's party, got drunk, and her boyfriend was like 6'5". I'm like 5'11". And he was faded. And I was like, hey, guys, they said you couldn't get in. So she was poking on the security guard when I got there. And
like
then
in the face?
No, pecking on his chest. And the security guard looking back at me because I'm working off-duty detail. I think I was at the Mandarin Hotel. I'm like, hey, stop. Guys, you're drunk, go home. You're not going to talk to me like that. I'm not going to take that type of talk from a security guard. And she went to try to poke me, and I grabbed the wrist, and I said, stop. The guy said, hey, hold on, that's my girl, and reached to grab my collar and rip my shirt. And I took him down. Boom. When I'm taking him down, she come try to hit me in the back, grab her, take her down. I didn't slap her. I didn't put her in the chokehold. I didn't do anything. Took him down, put them both in handcuffs. Me by myself, security still standing there watching. I called the sergeant because we were in another jurisdiction. I called the sergeant. Hey, what do we need to do? Said, are you hurt? Nope. Are they hurt? Nope. Do you want to do a use of force and be out here all night? Cut him loose. So that's where I think you got to stay calm. Like that officer completely lost his calm, and then he hit somebody. Imagine he would have hit her and she would have been knocked out, which could have happened. It's a man versus a woman, and she falls down and dies. Yeah. Was the juice worth the squeeze? Was it worth for you to hit that woman? Whatever you want her out, okay, call 911. You're there as an extra set of eyes and ears. I think that's probably the worst securing by a security guard I've ever seen.
Yeah, and one thing you got to keep in mind too, as a security guard, or in many professions, you got to be able to decompartmentalize. Like, he may have been just getting to work from having the worst day of his life in his personal life, and then that may have carried over into his job.
Well, or he thinks it's okay to beat on women. That's his personal stuff. So training is everything. So I think part of what separates Fast Guard from everybody else is transparency. Training, the technology, being able to know where the guard is, when the guard's there. But the biggest thing is training. Like, we don't just let people come in because you got a license, you're going to work for us. We're going to take you through our orientation. We're going to explain to you de-escalation techniques, and we're going to sit down and try to check your temperament. In some cases with armed guards, in all cases with armed guards, they have to get a psychological to make sure they're mentally fit to work. So you have to look at all of these things. I couldn't see the company. I want to know bad who that was. And I know Taco Bell's like, why? Why would you do something like that? Yeah. We sell tacos, man. And so, you looked at that and you look at, okay, what's that guard's life after that day? What happens to him? He goes home.
I'm assuming he's definitely fired.
Oh, no.
Probably even getting sued.
He's arrested. He need to be arrested right there. Whoever took that video need to show that video to the responding officer because they should have called 911. They were saying that maybe she was homeless in the comments and all that stuff. Okay, you're homeless. So that means that you just go around slapping homeless people?
That's even worse.
No. And so especially with what's going on in the current state of things, and everybody's, up on end. He's a little bit lighter complected. She's darker complected. Like, people could turn that, and you'll end up working private security for her.
All right.
She'll own Taco Bell. She'll own you. She won't be homeless anymore for sure.
Let's put it all in proper context. We don't know what happened before, and also she did either attempt to take a swing at him or did take a swing at him in that video. So was he right to protect himself?
Now, that was where? Do you remember what state it was in?
I do not remember.
I think they said it was Las Vegas or somewhere. But bottom line is security guards. So that whole use of force, there used to be a matrix that says if you put your hand on me, I can slap your hand. If you try to choke me, I could punch you.
But is that for police or is that
that's law
security?
Enforcement?
Right.
But it used to apply to some security guards in some states. The issue with that is it just looks bad. And you got to assume that everything that you do, when I retired from law enforcement, I realized that at that point, this was 2021, I realized that everything you do is going to be on camera one way or another. The neighbor's ring cam across the street, somebody pulling out their cell phone, people got cameras on their car. I just seen a police officer get arrested from Port St. Lucie a couple days ago. And all he did, he said that the people were traveling too close behind him. They were tailgating him, which he probably should have called 911, let the on-duty police. He was off duty.
Right.
He pulls over, jumps out the car, grabs a young man's arm and says, hey, you need to listen to me.
He was in his personal vehicle?
Personal vehicle with a T-shirt on. Then grabs his arm. So now you committed battery. You didn't touch me. And you're assaulting me. You're talking all this crazy stuff. He's bending the guy's arm back. The guy yanked his arm back. The kid had to be no older than 17. Everybody got cameras in your face. He sees it. What happens, I think they might try to side it of like, almost like temporary insanity because he thought he was in police mode, and you're not. And it was a brother. And he now has gotten to a situation where he got arrested out there, and they saying they put him in cuffs. He probably had a gun on, had to take his gun off. Maybe he was headed somewhere with his family. You get arrested, if there's nobody old enough to drive that car, guess what they're going to do with your car? Impound it. So your decisions have to be, it has to be somewhere in the realm. Like slapping somebody at a Taco Bell is crazy. Now, that's a very bad guard. There's also very good guards, but let's keep on the bad. I like talking about the bad. I identify guards. My top thing is when I see a guard when people come in here for interviews and they got 5 badges on, they got a badge around their neck.
That's a sign.
That's a sign, man. The police don't even wear that many badges. What are you doing? Why you got all them badges on? You look like a Charleston White. He had all the Rat Williams and all this stuff. It's a moniker. It's a joke. So when you see security guards, like I've seen some real good-looking guys, man, they in the gym, and that's how you know there's a screw loose. There's a screw loose. They got 30 badges on. Like, where did you get all those? That means that you called and ordered on Amazon, and you went into the store and you bought all these badges. You know what? Which one should? I'll wear them all. Absolutely. Now, that's number one. Number one, I'm crazy.
I'm really going to impress them with this.
Number 2, security guards that pull up, they have their own vehicle with lights and sirens and all this stuff. That's number 1 cuckoo. So at the police department, they gave us authorization to put lights in our personal car and sirens. And it sounded like such a good idea. And then, lo and behold, every rule that's made is all because of one person that did something stupid. There was an officer that was driving like a Cadillac that was getting pulled over by FHP, and he's like, I'm a cop too. Turns on, lights up like a Christmas tree. He got lights on top of lights. The whole car turned into the light. The officer behind him was like this. And then the officer, he holds his badge out the window and keeps driving. Officer, pull over, satellite. What is wrong with you? He gets up on him, and he tells him, hey, I'm a cop too. He looks at his badge. He said, what's your chief's phone number? When you hear that, you know you're about to get in some trouble. Yeah. Man, he called that guy back, man. We got called into the police department that day, and he said, hey, anybody...
Remove all lights.
Remove all lights. Or if you got them on your car, if you're using them for any other reason than to be on off duty in your personal car, you're fired. That's stupid. And I didn't see the officer no more, so I assume he got 07 too. So, like, you think about these things, and it's like, what are people thinking? So, two things, the 30 badges, lights on your car, personal lights, or the people that drive these cars that almost look like police cars, but you can't tell. Mm-hmm. And the big thing is people that talk with all the jargon. You know, let's get over to the QTH and the QRF and the MI. What does all that? Hey, man, listen, guys. I retired from a police department. I don't know what the hell all that means. So if you're talking like that, and you're not a police officer, what are you doing? That guard obviously thought that he was some type of level 4. I hear guys call me say, I'm a level 8 guard. What does that mean, sir? Level 8? What was the first 7 levels? So you get people that's involved in this, and that's how you know if somebody's cuckoo. So guys, quick hiring tip: if you come to Fast Guard and we see your video or we meet you and you hiring or you're in the hiring process, don't wear 30 badges. And don't pull up in a car with the police. Like, that doesn't impress anybody. No. That tells me that you're one step away from getting a felony from impersonating a police officer. Stop doing that.
Red flags.
Red flags, man. And then officer or security guards that can't control their temper. That's like 101. And we had to go through it down here. The guys, everybody, Miami, California, Los Angeles, New York, everybody's on steroids. Mm. And so I love to see, Fast Guard, we work out. We want our guys to work out. I see some guys that are way too jacked. And you have to look for that stuff, dealing with security guards, because just because a person's swole and they got a gun, they may lose their temper. Remember, you ever heard of roid rage? Mm-hmm. People uncontrollable. A couple of pro wrestlers killed their wives, and all kind of stuff happens on roids. So you don't know if this guy, he might have been jacked like a Greek god under that jacket. Who knows? I know he slapped that girl, and I know he probably got arrested. If he didn't, I think that they're going to drop a huge lawsuit, and he's going to regret it. It's stupidity in my book.
And you know who's going to get sued? The security company and Taco Bell.
They always go from shallow pockets to deep. Taco Bell got deep pockets. I forgot how many locations they got, but they're making a lot of tacos. Yeah. So, keep that in mind when you're hiring somebody. Keep that in mind if you are a security guard. Word to the wise. Man, you do much better by being an extra set of eyes and ears versus you trying to step in and be Commando Joe. We talked the other day about the security guard that failed to do something, the guy that during the shooting failed to do something. But also there's people that just go above and beyond. I tell that story all the time about the officer I worked with that the door was locked at somebody's house. He could have easily called the locksmith. He decided to go Miami Vice and shoot the lock off. Guys, it is never a good idea. It looks cool on TV. The bullet could have ricocheted, hit him in the face. Right. Like, a lot of things could have happened. And I like the guy, but I'm glad I wasn't there for that. Yeah. I probably got fired too.
Man. So let's pivot and let's talk about, the good guards. An example of a good guard. There was a situation at the Department of Education. I'm not sure exactly when it took place, but it was fairly recent.
Well, let's cut. Can we cut to that real quick? I want you to take a look.
Show the video.
My job.
So everybody's freelancing.
What is that?
We're doing our jobs.
We're trying to save your
It's
job.
a non-responsive.
Show them your ID. Were you told to stand here, or did you decide to stand here and block members of Congress from entering the Department of Education?
Access
To federal buildings.
The members of Congress.
We're allowed in there.
So a private security contractor
Do you know who members of Congress are?
Members of
Sure,
Congress.
we're all members of Congress.
Maybe he doesn't understand.
A private security contractor is making the decision to block members of Congress from a public access entrance.
I don't think he knows.
You have the authority as a private security contractor to block members of Congress. That has been knighted and granted to you.
You have to at least let us go to the desk.
Yeah. Sending the goons out. Oh my, look at that.
Who told you to do this? Open the door.
I see you now.
So do you understand who members of Congress are?
I got it, yeah.
Well,
And you don't
who
care.
are we then?
I got a job to do.
You don't care.
We have a job to do.
We're not dangerous people. We're not, I don't know, security. There are no thieves and thugs out here. We're members of Congress. We're parents. We're teachers.
Each of us.
There's our ID, right there.
We were elected to do this.
This is our job.
I've never seen one.
This is our job. We're doing our job.
Oh wow.
You're securing this building against who?
Members of Congress.
Who are you
The people.
protecting in
It's
there?
members of the people's
So
house
this
who
is the
represent the
beginning of
people.
full transparency of this administration.
That's right.
The administration that talked about they're going to open the doors to all of these things and show the American public what is going on.
Transparency.
They won't even open the door to this building to
Go to the
members of
visitor
Congress.
desk.
Or
We are
anyone.
not posing any threat here.
Not
We are not
whatsoever.
dangerous people. We have not
They
done
won't even
anything.
let us
We're
talk to
trying
the
to
Department of
request a
Education.
meeting, and they won't. They have a private security contractor who on his own is making decisions on behalf of the Department of Education.
We are
So
members of
Congressman
Congress.
Hayes,
At the
what you're
all
saying is they're
access
not,
entrance.
they allow billionaires and his minions to come in
I don't
to
know
this
who
building.
he is. I don't know who
They-
he is,
they-
but I know who I
they
am.
allow-
And I'm a member of Congress with oversight responsibilities trying to request a meeting, and a private security contractor is not allowing me to enter the building.
And
They allow billionaires to go in this
At the
building, but not the
all-access
people's representatives. They
The
allow
all-access
billionaires and their
entrance.
cronies to go in, but not, there's a lack of transparency here. The members of Congress, the people's representatives are not allowed in. This is not transparent.
They're locking our kids out. Well, not only are they not letting us in, now they've called the Department of Homeland Security. We are members of Congress here
stay
to
here
talk
now, for real,
with
yeah.
the Department of Education, and they're treating
The
us.
kids deserve to have us
Yes,
go in and fight for
absolutely.
them.
This is appalling.
Children of this country deserve that battle.
This is a public institution. This is not Russia.
Let the camera see him. Let the camera see him. This man here.
We are members of Congress.
Come in.
They're
and
blocking
I want you
us.
to see this man here, who is a federal employee. He told us.
He's not.
Are you a federal employee? Huh?
Yes.
No, he said he's a federal employee. We pay him. We raise money to make sure that we have a Department of Education. Everybody that's hired at the Department of Education are here because we pay for them to be here. He's standing here today, blocking the door, and he can't give us a good reason why he's blocking this door.
Make sure they see right here. All access entrance.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that was excellent work.
Yeah, he stayed calm. He wasn't he didn't have an attitude with anybody. He answered their questions. He showed ID when they asked him to show ID, even though one of the women slapped his ID and said that's not good enough. He didn't react. He
He could have
stayed
took
calm.
that and said, you know what?
Right. He put it back in his pocket, stood his ground, and no one got into the building.
That
He
guy is
did-
top 10.
He did exactly what he was paid to do.
He made the top. He might be top 5.
Yeah.
You rarely see people that have that type of composure, sir. Whoever you are, if you see this video, call us immediately. we like your style, son. I seen that. I thought for sure it was going when they showed it on the news. I was like, he gonna slap somebody.
I was like, oh, here it
He
comes.
he didn't even look at anybody in the eyes.
Yeah.
Looked right past him.
Answer their questions. And did you decide to? I'm just doing my job.
And so that's the main thing when we're talking about security, keeping your composure.
Right.
You're put there supposed to be like a sheepdog to protect the people. You can't lash out and hit the people. Other good things that good guards do is they look good in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I couldn't see his full body because he was covered by the crowd, but he looked like he was in a pretty good uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Security contractor. He was out there. He had his ID. He understood the liabilities that come with acting crazy. He didn't do it. Man, that guy gets 10 thumbs up.
Understood the assignment.
Understood the assignment.
Man.
Stayed calm. You know, I can't say enough good things about that. And when we see good guards, we're not just here to bash the bad guards, but it's so many. Every day there's a new video that pops up, so we'll never run out of content.
Right.
Because people keep hiring satellites. And for you guys that don't know what a satellite is, I got this from a police officer. He was my FTO, Rigo, Officer Rigo. He came up with that word satellite. I said, man, what does a satellite mean? He was like, that means they're in outer space. Think about satellites. Yeah. So that was a satellite move. He reached back. He forgot where he was. I seen that happen in a strip club once, but that's a whole nother story.
On that note, we're going to go ahead and pivot and get out of here, guys. You can reach us online at www.fastguardservice.com or by phone at 844-25-GUARD. Give us a call. We'd love to speak with you. Have a nice day.
Stay calm. Have a nice one.